How are your kids doing?
They're doing well.
You've got a missionary somewhere. I'm not sure.
I do. Jacob is actually in Harriman, Utah right now.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, so he just got transferred and they are talking about getting him in his visa paperwork started. So
Oh,
hopefully he gets the official. They've started doing accepting visas again. So they're just slowly funneling everybody in. And so we're just waiting for the go ahead to
that's
submit all that paperwork and have him head off to Tahiti. So
Tahiti's his ultimate goal, huh?
yes, in the middle
Ah,
of the ocean.
oh, I really hope he makes it there. That would be so awesome.
Yeah, this is the window. If they can just get out before it starts getting worse again, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. He's in 9 months in, so
Mm.
well, yeah, we'll see. Well, so hopefully we'll get some more people jumping on here. If you're tuning in on Facebook, make sure you guys say hello. Let me know you're watching us on Facebook. We'll be able to take some questions here at the end. I do have some, before I introduce our speaker tonight, I do have some announcements that are important to understand and relate to you. Is regarded to next week's call is going to be the Corporate Empowered Success Call. And you'll want to join that because Emily Wright is going to talk about some convention products and highlights. And that's always good. She gives you some great teasers. So instead of our normal weekly call, we'll just tie into that as well. And then Justin Harrison is going to be doing a compensation plan webinar on Wednesday. You could go to justinswebinars.com and you can register for that. I'm sure he's going to go into great detail about commissions and how you get paid. And then I got a message today more about convention. Trying to pull it up here. The prices are changing soon. They said that there was 44 days left until convention. I cannot believe that, guys. Month and a half. That's, oh, wow, wrap my head around that. I'm so excited to go to Utah for that. But they do have the detailed agenda online. So if you go to doterra.com /US/EN/convention, or just go to the convention page, you'll be able to see the detailed agenda. There's been some changes, so you'll want to take a peek in that. And then the price for in-person tickets are going to go up August 1st to $250, and the virtual tickets will be $89. If you do want that swag box with your virtual ticket, you'll have to pay $119 starting on August 1st. Again, the price goes up there. So just FYI on that one. And then you have, let's see, last day to request ticket cancellations or modify in-person to virtual or vice versa is July 31st. So I think that is Saturday. So make sure that you guys have your tickets and you're all set to join us at convention, because I got this murder mystery stuff going on and I can't wait to get the final tally on who is coming to convention so we can have our murder mystery night and have a lot of fun. So all right, that is, I think, all the, oh, and then BOGO. The BOGO after party is tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Same time, same link. We're going to give away all of our prizes. So I encourage you guys to come and share your own testimonies of the products that we're going to go over. And Wednesday's class is going to be the hormone class, women's health and hormones class. And Jessica Mercer is teaching that. And yeah, I think that sums up. And then we got the end of the month. So let's focus on getting just that one person signed up. Maybe that one person that's been holding off, right? Follow up with them and help them get started with the oils, because we know that oils change lives. So with that, I want to introduce tonight's special guest speaker. This is Kathy Pace. This is Tana's mother. She's my cross-line sister. And I want to just share really quickly something I learned about Kathy. when I went on an incentive trip one year, I was by myself and I stayed extra after the incentive trip to the Goddards. They did a Diamonds retreat event, and Kathy was there, and she sought me out. She knew that I was going to be there, and she knew I was going to be by myself, and she made it her duty to make sure that I was her roommate during that weekend that I stayed out there. And that meant such the world to me because I was actually having a hard time being on this trip without my husband. It was the first trip that I had gone without him. And it was, we're in another country. And anyways, it spoke volumes on the kindness and the thoughtfulness of Kathy. And I know her daughter, Tana, very well. And I know where she gets that. So I'm so excited to introduce Kathy to you guys. She's super knowledgeable. She's very successful in doTERRA. I think her highest rank was Blue Diamond here in doTERRA. So she knows what she's talking about, and she's got amazing experience with lifelong vitality. And I don't want to take too much time, so I'm going to just turn it over to you and let you share your story.
Okay, thank you so much, Caroline. And it was a pleasure to room with you and get to know you a little bit better. All you ladies and gentlemen on her team are lucky to have her for a leader. Really, the rest of us leaders keep looking to Caroline for help and pointers because she does everything so well. So it's a pleasure to be here. Now, I do have some things I want to share with you about lifelong vitality, but first I want to tell you my story. And I just had such an incredible experience. I had breast cancer, and so I was really careful about my vitamin intake. I wanted to make sure I was getting high quality vitamins. And my sister was a nurse, and she recommended certain ones and had to order some of them for me because you have to be in the medical profession to even get them. And I was taking these vitamins, and of course, I don't know about you, but I didn't feel much. And Thomas said to me, "Are you taking lifelong vitality?" And I said, "Well, I've tried a few here and there, but I'm taking so many pills, and I have to take handfuls to get everything in that I need." And she said, "Just take all your other stuff and put it into emergency preparedness storage, and then if you need something on a rainy day and can't get something, then you've got that. And let's try lifelong vitality for a while, the way you're supposed to take it, 2 in the morning of each and 2 at night of each." So I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I did exactly that. And I'm telling you, in a few days, I noticed more energy. Like I remember very clearly, it was 10 o'clock at night and I was thinking, what can I do? I thought, oh, maybe I'll mop the kitchen floor. And then I realized it was 10 o'clock. I thought, normally by this time I'm crashing so tired. And I watched it over the next few days when I would go to sleep faster at night without all those spinning anxiety thoughts in my head. Do you ever have that where you can't shut them off so you can't go to sleep? I always had that. And I had SAD syndrome in the winter where you don't get enough sunlight and you just get depressed. I didn't have it that winter. It was like, I can't even tell you everything. I had swollen joints, and when I woke up in the morning, I had to make my bed with flat hands, pull the sheets up like this, because it really hurt to close my fingers and pull things up this way. And it was just like one thing after another. I realized I wasn't using as much deep blue because the bunion didn't hurt. The joints didn't hurt. The inflammation was going down. I would fall asleep faster at night. I would wake up refreshed in the morning, and that was a first. Not feeling like, oh, I remember my fondest dream was just to be able to stay in bed for 3 days and just get all the sleep I needed. And I didn't feel like I wanted that anymore. That wasn't even appealing to me. I felt so good. It'd be fun for you to stick it in the chat if you've taken these vitamins and felt more energy. After this, I watched clients and I said, I guarantee you that you will have more energy, because a lot of people complain stress makes them tired, and everybody's stressed, so everybody's tired and has less energy than they want. And I would just say, text me on the day that you feel more energy, and it was often the very next day. Like they only had to take it one day until they noticed that change. Then after a few months, I had to have a thyroid test. Now, I had also had a thyroid disease 30, 35 years before. And they had treated my thyroid with radiation. They basically took it out with radiation. I could have the surgery to remove it or the radiation. I chose radiation. And because I was vain and young and didn't want a scar, you know. As I went for this blood test, it had been about 6 months since I started taking Lifelong Vitality. I had too much thyroid hormone. Now, I was on a synthetic version of thyroid hormone, and I thought, how is that possible? You know, I said to the doctor, you and I both know that I don't have a thyroid, and I'm taking the same dose I've been taking for all these 30 years. And she said, well, I have heard this can happen. I've never seen it myself, but it looks like your thyroid has regenerated itself and started to produce healthy hormone. So that to me was a miracle. Well, whew. So I'm super grateful that I didn't go and have surgery to take it out, because I still had some, I guess we could call it a burned out shell of thyroid that my body could start healing it, you know, when I had the right tools. And I thought I really want to share this with people. It seems like also a lot of people have thyroid problems. And since then, I've learned things about Epstein-Barr virus, that it was a healthy virus that everybody has to help eat heavy metals and other really poisonous things that come into the body through natural ways. I mean, fish have heavy metals in them naturally, just in the streams, because you know the water's flowing over the rocks and they're eating things out of the water. And anyway, it's like they were beneficial. You know how we have beneficial bacteria in our gut, good flora? Well, they were part of that. But the problem is that we are faced with so many toxins in our environment and so many different heavy metals. I mean, if you've ever even touched a piece of tinfoil or a tinfoil dish that you take your takeout food in, you're getting tin through aluminum through your skin. You know, on the skin is in, and our poor livers are having to deal with all of this, and that virus eats these, and it proliferates, and then it's body waste and its dead body also creates a very, very toxic environment in the body that the liver then has to try to filter and try to deal with. And a lot of times these toxins are stored away in a fat cell. You know, we coat it with lipids and store it away to get it out of circulation into a safe place. And in your liver, it creates fatty liver, and it's so dangerous. And even tiny babies are having fatty liver now because moms, we don't mean to, but we pass some of these heavy metals and toxins onto our children in the womb. And so the viruses have kind of gone from beneficial to the dark side, where everything that they eat and do and give off is really super toxic for us and really bad for us. And I didn't realize it, but actually a lot of thyroid disease is caused by this virus hiding out in your thyroid and causing some damage there. So I wasn't using the essential oils that support your thyroid because I didn't think I had one, but now I am. I put oils on my neck. Which ones, you might ask? Well, you can look up the ones that are supportive of your thyroid gland, but I love Immortelle. I love frankincense. I love Melissa. I think about things that are antiviral. Well, the most powerful ones that we have, and literally everything from lowly lemon You know, the cheapest and most readily available and easiest to get oil there is supportive of our bodies and our livers to help detox and clean up and take care of these things. There there are studies. Caroline, please forgive me, but Caroline mentioned that maybe I didn't have to be completely compliant with this, so I'm saying the words that even lemon is anti-cancer, you know. So yeah, use your oils and use them liberally. But let's look just for a minute. I'm gonna turn on my PowerPoint screen and have you look at this. So there have been studies done on this vitamin pack that they actually help with cellular longevity and lifespan. Um, Look at this list, if you can see it. Brain and cognitive health, digestive health, stress management, immune support. I mean, you know, studies to back it up. Let's look at this one. So oxidation takes place in the body and it creates a stress response from your cells. And if you keep having oxidation without help and support for that stress response, this is the aging cycle. And so if we can slow it down by getting rid of some of those free radicals that are causing the oxidative damage, you're going to look and feel younger longer. Remember how I said the joints felt better, I had more energy, I slept better, not so much stress. It was like, it's a cascade of things. And so when people come to me with any problem in doTERRA, I would say, first of all, you have to get on Lifelong Vitality. And then we'll pull in the oils that we might need to support you with this specific thing. But this is the basis of good health. And I was never disappointed. It didn't matter what they had going on. They were always better and they always had an improved life if they would do these vitamins. So to know what causes oxidative damage, it's the free radicals, and they're unstable molecules with these unpaired electrons. And so they go around in your body, robbing electrons from healthy tissues, and that makes them break down. And when you have cells that are breaking down and losing pieces that they need to function, then it causes inflammation. It always causes inflammation and tissue damage. So when you think about smokers, have you ever noticed if you smoked yourself or you've had friends or family that did, wow, they look older, don't they, than their, you know, chronicle age. And look at how many free radicals you get. It's 1 quadrillion free radicals per inhalation. So smoking is definitely something that would be rough on your body. We create free radicals by breathing and eating and exercising, but also things like, you know, being sick or cellular stresses cause free radicals as well. And let's just look at how do we produce energy in the body. We take in oxygen and food, we put out ATP and exhaust. ATP is the forerunner of energy, and the exhaust is in the form of free radicals. So just that cell doing its little functioning can cause some free radicals and damage the very cell that produced them. And we don't want to damage the DNA in the cells. What antioxidants are stable molecules with extra electrons to share. And that's what we get from our food, from fruit. Never have fruit fear. Eat all the fruit you want. You'll stay slim. They're antiviral, anti-cancer. There's nothing that can harm you in that. It's like God's gift to us. So they will both help you with exogenous antioxidants, you know, coming in from your food and from your daily vitamins. And then there are endogenous antioxidants that are made inside the body. in the packet that doTERRA gave us to help with antioxidation in the body, they included a polyphenol blend from plants, carotenoids, which are so good. They're those like the carrot colored things and peppers and bright orange squash and things like that are really, really good for our eyes and macular degeneration. They protect your eyes. The ALA, super powerful. Coenzyme Q10, the oils. Yeah, let's go to that slide. Oh, I'm just so excited about this. I want to give you time. If you have any questions, jot those in the chat, and then maybe Carolyn can feed them to me real quick. But we have antioxidant vitamins and minerals, all the essential ones. Why do they call them essential? Because your body has to have them every single day. And if you don't get them through your diet, you go without, you go into malnourishment. And in a state of malnourishment, your body can't heal itself. Silymarin, this is a polyphenol that we get, and it supports the SOD, superoxide dismutase enzyme, which is the front line of our defense against oxidative stress in the body. This is like one of the very first things. Supports glutathione levels in the liver. If you don't have enough glutathione, you can't get rid of these toxins and heavy metals. The carotenoids that are included there from green algae. Oh, yeah, I got to show you this. So they included astaxanthin, and the way they create a really powerful antioxidant is by putting this algae in these glass tubes, and they expose them to sunlight. And then this is like a sky view of those same tubes. You see how some of them are red? When they're exposed to sunlight in those glass tubes, these algae produce this red dye, this red substance, I should say, called astaxanthin. And that's why your oil version of your little vitamin is red. So the algae goes from the green to the red. And this is a very, very powerful antioxidant. So this is helping reduce that inflammation in the body and giving the body the tools it needs to heal. But this is one of the most exciting things, that there are 9 different essential oils in the vitamins. And they chose all of these for very specific reasons, clove being one of the most powerful antioxidants known to man, peppermint and ginger being the tummy taming blend, but they're also, like, peppermint is one of the most powerful oils that you would want to be taking every single day if you knew everything it did. Thyme, a wonderful antibiotic that doesn't disturb or kill your good flora. So it can help you get rid of the bad guys without killing the good guys. And this is an ideal fat exchange or fat balance. The omega-6s, we need some, and they're in like meat and fats and dairies and stuff like that. And then the omega-3s, which are found more in the plants. And we should have a balance of 1-to-1. But do you know what we actually have a balance of? We have a balance of about 16-to-1. 16 omega-6s to 1. And the omega-6s are like a fire alarm, and it's very stressful in the body. So we, one of the things that I noticed right away was that I didn't have to take as many of those pills. I didn't have to take the whole handful every single day because it's already in this group of vitamins. When they put these together, they did it right. So I'll pause now and take your questions.
All right. We had somebody who had asked me the other day, do you put your omegas in the fridge?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
No, they're stable at room temperature.
Okay. And then you have any tips on taking all the pills? I know for me, I had a hard time taking pills when I was younger. I would take them with a milkshake on the tip of my tongue. I'd put one in there and I'd guzzle a milkshake, and that's how I got it down. And then I graduated to milk and orange juice. So it was like a thicker liquid. But do you have any tips or recommendations on taking your vitamins and getting them down?
Okay. I love to dump out the whole bottle of vitamins into a cup or a little goblet or something. So they're sitting open in the kitchen, and I can just go over there and grab two, and two in the morning, same at night. When I take those, so I've got 6 tablets in my hand at once. I found if I will eat a bite of banana first and get my body used to the idea that we're going to swallow now. You know, it sounds elementary, but it works. Then I can take all 6 and pop them in, and if I'm feeling a little reluctance, then I'll just separate it with my tongue and drink 3 and then drink 3 more. But it's also a really good thing to have some fruit with your vitamins. Did you know that the presence of the fruit sugars helps those vitamins be more bioavailable in the body? And this is something that doTERRA has been really, really careful about, to use whole food sources, and even this glycoprotein matrix where they fed the food to yeast and let the yeast start breaking it down. So it's kind of um, a fermented form of some of those vitamins that normally aren't so bioavailable. They've been really careful with that, but I'm just telling you, if then you will take a bite of banana and then maybe take a few more and drink your water, you'll find that they go down easier and you actually get to assimilate them better with that fruit sugar present.
Well, that's awesome. I did not know that. So that's great insight. Kathy was wondering, should you refrigerate your PB and GX Assist? What's your recommendation on those? I know we talked about Lifelong Vitality, but she was wondering
Yeah,
about that.
you know what? That is the beauty of doTERRA's, that you don't have to refrigerate them. And they've had pharmaceutical companies come to our company and say, how did you do this? Because normally those bacteria need to be refrigerated so they're quiet and dormant, you know, so that they can live and be alive. But doTERRA has this double encapsulation process where they actually have a little food source, and they don't start breaking down in your stomach where you don't want them to, because your stomach acid would kill them. They are able to get down to the gut where there they are broken down. And as the outer capsules come off, the little bacteria with, like, what did they say, 5 billion? I mean, they had unbelievable high numbers of viable bacteria are are released with their food source at the point that they're needed. It's really an amazing product. And it's something that if you're dealing with any kind of health challenge, one of the first things you should think about is the GX Assist and On Guard every day, and take your probiotic maybe just before bed when you're not taking it exactly with your vitamins or with your other oils, but give it a chance to live a few hours later, and take that. And nope, no refrigeration.
Awesome, awesome. I think that was all the questions that I saw on there. But I just want to say, Kathy, I'm just fascinated with all the knowledge that you shared with us this evening. You know, I've been taking Life on Vitality now for almost 11 years in October. And if you guys have heard my story, you know that that is a product I cannot live without. You know, I really feel inflammation go down in my hands and my feet within 30 minutes of taking that. So I'm like Kathy, I use less oils and less other supplements. And I take the Lifelong Vitality. It's really made a big, big difference. So thank you, Kathy, for your wisdom and gracing us with your knowledge and your presence. We love you. For everybody else this evening, if you guys have further questions for Kathy, just put it in through the Facebook website or the Facebook group, and I will just make sure that she gets an opportunity to answer any of the questions that are coming in for that as well. And hopefully we'll see many of you guys tomorrow night on the BOGO after party. Lots of amazing prices, and I would love for you guys to jump on and share some of your testimonials that helps validate and give a little bit more gravity to the amazing products that we have from last week. And then again, Wednesday night is our continuing education class, which is the hormone class. I will let you guys know I've got the next holiday or the specialty series all on the calendar. And so we do have, I noticed we have about 3 or 4 classes that still need teachers on that. And I'll be posting that later on this week. So if any of you guys want to try to tackle that, if you want to team teach with some of your friends or your team members, let me know. But I will be posting that in there. And there'll be a prize if you attend all 8 of these specialty classes. We're going to give away an oil shelf. So you'll want to make sure that in the next couple weeks you reach out to your people who've already attended or who haven't attended before. These are 8 classes that we will probably never do again in this order. Like we may do 1 or 2 of those same topics another time, but you don't want to miss. So if they attend all 8, they can earn this oil shelf. With that, but I'll get you some more details in 2 weeks as we get closer to the end of the series. So with that, thank you so much for joining, and you guys have a fabulous week. Thanks.